All right, welcome. Let's just dive right in. I want you to think of this as your first day on the job. You've just been hired as a consultant, and this is your very first major engagement. Our goal here is to give you the strategic framework and the tactical plan you're going to need to deliver some seriously high-impact, actionable intelligence. Your client is waiting, so let's get to it.
So you're the consultant. You're sitting there. Where do you even begin? You've got this complex problem in front of you, and you're operating in a totally new world of interconnected data. The old rules of business intelligence, they're basically broken. So to find the answer, you've first got to understand the new rules of the game. You see, to really succeed in this project, you first need to get your head around this fundamental shift that's happened in the world of data. We're moving away from just looking in the rearview mirror to actually looking through the windshield. And trust me, that changes everything.
And this is the core concept you need to know: connected intelligence. It's not enough anymore to just have data. The real competitive advantage now comes from a company's ability to sense what's happening out in the physical world, process that information instantly, and then act on it. It's all about creating a living, breathing system.
Think of this system kind of like a human body. Over on the left, you've got the senses. IoT devices, sensors, all collecting real-time data. This is the company's nervous system, feeling what's happening right this second. Then on the right, you have the brain. That's the AI and machine learning that chews on all that data to predict what's going to happen next. Your job as the consultant is to build that crucial connection between the two.
So here's the absolute key takeaway. Your client doesn't need another report telling them what happened last quarter. That's history. They need you to build a system that can actually predict the future, whether that's a piece of equipment about to fail, a new market trend, or what a customer's going to do next. This is where you create real, tangible economic value.
All right, so with that big picture in mind, let's take a look at your potential clients. We've got 6 different companies, and each one has a really unique and urgent challenge that, well, only you can solve.
Now, no matter which case you decide to pick, your mission is always the same. You are hunting for 2 things: opportunities to make money and threats that could lose money. It's that simple. You'll need to dig into their data to pinpoint exactly where raw information can be turned into profitable action.
And here are your options. You might be optimizing logistics for a massive fleet of vehicles, or preventing catastrophic failures on an industrial site. Maybe you'll be predicting real estate values, or even using satellite data to help with sustainability. Each one of these cases is a massive opportunity to create value. Your first step is to choose one to focus on.
Okay, so you've got the strategic context and you've picked your client. Now what? How do you actually structure your work? Well, we've developed a 4-step playbook to guide you all the way from the initial analysis to your final recommendation. This is how you're going to build your project.
Here's the plan. First, you've got to diagnose the core problem. Is it an issue with the company's senses, getting the data, or its brain, processing the data? Second, in tech synthesis, you'll pick the right technology to create what we call augmented intelligence. That's a system where AI makes human experts even better instead of replacing them. Third, you'll map out your entire process using an industry-standard framework. And finally, you'll select and justify the specific analytics tool for the job.
Let's double-click on steps 3 and 4, because this is where your technical expertise is really going to shine. I mean, getting the process and the tools right is the difference between a project that just looks good on paper and one that actually delivers real-world results.
So you're going to be using the CRISP DM model. And listen, this isn't just some academic exercise. This is the cross-industry standard process for data mining. It's a proven, structured methodology that makes sure you don't miss a single critical step when you're building out a complex data project.
These are the 6 stages of that framework. You'll start with business understanding, then move to data understanding. Next, you prep the data. You build your model, you test it, and finally, you deploy it for your client. Your analysis has to address every single one of these stages.
Now, I want you to pay special attention to stage 3, data preparation. Why? Because in most real-world analytics projects, preparing and cleaning the data takes up to 80% of the total effort. Yeah, 80%. This is where projects live or die. You have to acknowledge this, and you have to explain how you're going to tackle it.
Now, when it comes to picking your tool, whether it's Python, R, Knime, whatever, you've got to justify it across these 4 dimensions. Are you going to prioritize free community support, or do you need a paid enterprise guarantee? Do you need transparent open source code, or is a black box solution okay? Is this something built on a laptop or deployed globally in the cloud? And is it for a visual drag and drop user or a hardcore coder? These aren't just technical questions, they're strategic choices.
Okay,
You've done the work, you've built the plan, now it's time to deliver your final analysis to the client. Your presentation has to be sharp, it has to be insightful, and most of all, it has to be persuasive.
So what are we looking for? What does success really look like? It's not just about listing off a bunch of technologies. A top-tier analysis connects the dots. It synthesizes all the technical parts, the sensors, the cloud, the UI, with that high-level strategic concept we started with, the convergence of the company's senses and its brain.
Just look at this quote from a model response. This is the level of depth we're talking about. It doesn't just say use AI, it specifies a particular model, an LSTM, which is a type of neural network that's great for time series data, and it explains its precise job to predict outliers better than a human can. That is actionable intelligence. So to summarize it all, your final presentation needs to do 3 things. First, critique what the client is doing right now and explain why it's failing. Second, synthesize a new solution that combines the senses and the brain. And third, justify your plan by tackling the real-world barriers head-on, like cost, privacy concerns, or technical issues.
And that leaves you with one final question to answer, and it's the exact same question your client will have. After all your analysis and all your hard work, will the solution you've designed just be another way to report on the past, or are you going to give them the power to predict and even shape their future? The choice is yours. Good luck.